Hi, I'm Kim Anderson, President of the Faribault Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to our Candid Conversations with Candidates. The election is on November 6th. It's very important to become informed on local issues and to exercise your right to vote. Now let's meet the candidates for City Council.
Hello, my name is Gibbons. I'm running for Faribault City Council. Recently moved to Faribault with my family, my wife Sarah and my daughter Jamie, son Jaden, daughter Claire and Morgan. We've lived in town a little over a year now, and actually have worked in Faribault for 7 years or so. I used to work at the Radio Shack in the movie theater here in town. What I consider to be really the core essential services to the city that providing for its residents would be real basic stuff: police, fire, city maintenance to city property, streets, roads and bridges, that type of thing. Controlling taxes. I do believe in lowering the taxes on property. I know personally with some of the levies and tax increases that are being proposed in town here, we probably wouldn't have been approved for our home mortgage. So keeping those down really is important to not only my family, but I believe to other families in town that might be maybe on the verge of getting a home loan or filling up some of these foreclosures that we have around town. My hopes and expectations for the new city administrator would be someone that can really help focus the direction of this city with suggestions from the council. Someone that can help lead and point out suggestions. I believe that the council is more a representative of the public at large, where the administrator can really help fill in some of the detailed work and points behind those suggestions from either the city or the city council. Faribault's greatest assets, I really believe, are our small businesses, the people that work here in town. My wife has worked at the Animal Center here in town for about 5 years. She loves it there, and it's a very small business that, it's helped our family out a lot being part of this community.
My name is John Rowan, and I am 38 years old. I have been a local computer business owner here in Faribault since 1996. In that time, I have also owned and operated 2 internet service providers. In 2002, I opened up a computer repair shop called Geek Central, which is where I spend most of my time. The rest of my time is spent working with the Rice County Sheriff's Office as the Deputy Director of Emergency Management, and more recently as 800 megahertz radio system manager. What do I consider to be the core essential services the city must provide to its residents? Number 1, police and fire protection. Number 2, maintenance and construction of new and existing roadways and water delivery systems. 3, a pro-business environment. Question number 2, what do you consider the most important issues facing the City Council, and how would I address them if elected? I think the biggest issue is trust. When talking to people who live and work in Faribault, the number 1 complaint I hear about the current City Council and the decisions they have made in the past is that the public has no faith in their leadership or direction. If elected, I intend to be fair, open-minded, and willing to listen to all sides of an issue. I will also use the following guiding principles. A, is the decision that I make when voting on an issue in the public's best interest, need, or necessity? B, will the resolution keep local government out of other people's business? Both issues I feel are very important to me. What do you hope and expect of our new city administrator? I hope that the future city administrator will remain neutral to city politics. In addition, I also hope they will work with both staff and management to get us through these tough economic times. In addition, they need to be more than willing to make tough decisions when and if needed, and more importantly, stand behind those decisions. What do I consider to be Faribault's greatest assets? The people who live and work here. If elected, I hope we can work together to build upon Faribault's impressive past and ultimately create an even brighter future for everyone who lives and works in this city.
Hello, I'm Steve Underdahl. I'm a candidate for City Council for the 4-year term. I've lived in Faribault since I was 5 years old. I'm a graduate of Faribault High School, attended the University of Minnesota, and Mankato State University graduating with a degree in business administration. My experience within the city of Faribault, I'm currently serving as a city council member in my second term. I served on the planning commission for 9 years. I'm a past chair of the Chamber of Commerce, past president of the First English Lutheran Church, past chair of Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation, and also proud to say that I'm a graduate of the Blanding Community Leadership Program with the first cohort that went. There's been 2 cohorts that have since attended that. I'm married to my wife Julie for 33 years. She works in the Faribault School District and has had the pleasure of serving here for 18 years. I have 2 adult children, Brett and Jill, who both live in Faribault. Chamber has asked us to address certain issues here. The first one being what we consider the core services that the city provides. And my definition is those core services are those services which individuals can't effectively or efficiently provide themselves. Those services are public safety, which includes the fire department and our medical emergency response teams. Faribault has a full-time, part-time fire force. We have 9 full-time firefighters and a force of about 24 part-time firefighters. And then our police, we have a full-time patrol and investigations unit, part-time community service officers, obviously support staff and administration. We're also very fortunate to have volunteer police reserve, young explorers. We also have our public works department, which includes the street department, the water department, and our water reclamation facility. The street department is charged with street maintenance, snow plowing, and tree trimming. Water department is our distribution and collection systems. Also in the core services, I believe, is administration and finance. These obviously provide the basic business structure for all city services to function. Secondary services that we've got are park and recreation, which includes our library, community development, which includes housing programs, building inspections, economic development, engineering, public infrastructure, construction, and replacement. Some of the most important issues facing Faribault coming up, I believe, is maintaining quality and efficient government services to the community without imposing excessive property tax burden. To do this, we need to continually evaluate which services meet the community values, continue to evaluate and determine that services are delivered most efficient means possible at a reasonable cost, look for ways to collaborate with other government entities, and then also to look at our LGA. It's a very unstable source of income for the city, and we need to look at how we're going to be able to deal with that. The examples are in 2002, it represented 61% of our revenue, and today in 2012, it's 39% of our revenue. We've gotten to this point, we've reduced a lot of our expenses, and obviously there's been some more tax burden along the way. Looking at the new administrator, as that position gets filled this year, personally I'm looking for someone who has previous city administrative experience, and that being current experience, a demonstrated leadership and organization with multiple departments and similar sized workforce, able to empower and work collaboratively with staff, interact with the community and promote the city, interact with each and every council member equally, implement council policies with directives, advise the council on policy matters, and work in collaboration with city council to develop a strategic plan. Faribault's greatest asset, I believe, is our community. It's the families, the religious communities, service organizations, and volunteers. We have a variety of educational systems, public schools, private schools, charter schools, state academies, and SCC, being South Central College. In closing, I'd like to say it's an honor and privilege to serve the community as a city council member. I will continue to be mindful of the community's needs and the cost to taxpayers. I've supported the Property Tax Transparency Project, which should help community better understand city finances. I have the experience. I approach problem solving from a business perspective. I have the enthusiasm to represent the community. And I would appreciate your vote on November 6th.
Hi, I'm Joan VanDyke. I am running for Faribault City Council mainly because I see a lot of potential in this wonderful city, and I just love being here. I've lived here for 18 years. I have moved away a couple of times but keep getting drawn back, so I just realized that this is home and I want to serve my community as best I can. Core essential services is one of those things that the city has to provide, including infrastructure, making sure roads are drivable both in good weather and in bad. We don't have potholes the size of lakes, and making it dangerous to be on the roads. Also, core services involve emergency services, making sure they are equipped and trained men and women out on the roads, protecting us, serving us. We have a library that I think is an amazing place to be, to read. The kids love to go there. A community center and parks. I just love the city that we live in, and it's an honor to the possibility of serving our community. Something a lot of people comment about our taxes and our fees associated with the city, and controlling those is key. I think part of controlling our taxes and fees, it will also benefit businesses that are currently in Faribault because they'll be able to have more money involved with their actual business, but it also attract new businesses, in turn attracting more people to Faribault, and which will create a bigger tax base. So taxes will stay the same or ideally be able to be reduced, which I think is a very idyllic situation for everybody, to keep taxes for businesses and residents at a doable in this economy. We have a new city administrator that will be starting as soon as it's found by the current city council or mayor. And I think that person really needs to work well with the city staff and be the face of Faribault. Work well with the mayor, be upfront and honest with the mayor and the council, and to tell the council and mayor what needs, be upfront, honest, and give us the hard answers when it's necessary. We, as the city council, as city administrator, as all people working in the city, we have to remember that we actually work for the citizens of Faribault and not for ourselves. We're not out there for our own benefit. We're out there for the benefit of our citizens and our city. Because our greatest asset is our people in this community, and it's just an honor to the possibility of serving you and the businesses as well of this community.
Hello, my name is Sonny Wasilowski. My brother Jeremy is voicing for me. I hope to be your next city councilor. I am a Faribault native and bought a house here 4 years ago with my wife and our then infant son. Today my son RJ is 4 and my daughter Maggie is 18 months old. We love this town and still feel safe here. We regularly use city services such as the water park, library, disc golf, softball fields, recreation centers, parades, and so forth. We would like to see that continue. I've graduated from Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. with a degree in business administration. I am currently enrolled at Minnesota State University, Mankato, for my master's in public administration. Faribault is my passion, and it is my vision to propel our city into one of the top 100 small cities in America. The city will have a new city administrator when the new council members take office, and people often ask me about what my role will be with the city council. A web page on the City of Faribault website answers this. Answers this the best, and I stand by it. At faribault.org/city council. And it reads, the City of Faribault operates under the Council Administrator Plan. The City Council exercises the legislative power of the city and determines all matters of policy. The mayor presides as chair at meetings of the council and votes as a member. The mayor is also head of the city government for all ceremonial purposes. The city administrator is the head of the administrative branch of the city government and is responsible to the council for the proper administration of all affairs relating to the city. I consider the most important issue facing the city council is that they are not in touch with the people, and several important positions with the city have been vacated. If elected, I pledge to make myself available to emails and phone calls. I am also active on Facebook and Twitter. I can also be contacted through that as well. I pledge to work together with the staff, with the city, and I hope our employees stay here for the long term and work with us to make Faribault great. As your next city councilor, I will always have the objective of getting Faribault onto CNN's money list of 100 best small towns to live. Only a couple years ago, Owatonna placed 97th on the list. If they can do it, we surely can. We just need to make the right decision to get there, and I am that person to get us there. I want to see our quality of life increase. I want to see our city safer than ever. I want to see our taxes spent wisely. I want our city council dealings to be completely transparent. I want Faribault to be more welcoming to people, businesses, manufacturing, and property rights. My name is Sonny Wasilowski, and I hope to be your next city councilor. I can be contacted anytime by email at sonny.wasilowski@gmail.com or by phone at 507-412-5005. You can also contact me through Facebook and Twitter. I also have a website that you can check out at sonnyforfaribault.com. Thank you.
I'm Ken Walls, and I'm running for Faribault City Council. The essential core services I feel the City of Faribault should provide to residents are clean, effective recreation opportunities, places for families, youth, and adults to all have an opportunity to engage within community members in a fun environment. Another big item would be to provide accurate accounting for the taxes, for what our budget is for, and keeping everything in line, that we're not overspending or not utilizing the money available to us. As far as controlling taxes and what we can do to stimulate growth, I think what we need to do is show stability and clarity in what we want to provide to our incoming businesses. What I hope and expect out of our new city administrator is somebody who is willing to communicate and have dedication to the job, not necessarily to the job as well, but as to the city of Faribault. Seeing we've had many great people come through and not stay, dedication is a big issue. Some of the greatest assets that Faribault has is history. This town is an old historic mill town within the state of Minnesota. This has great roots, and we need to try and use as many of those historic milestones to draw in business and to draw in visitors.
Hi, I'm Mayor John Jasinski. Thanks to the citizens of Faribault for allowing me to serve as your mayor for the last 3 years.
Obviously, everybody knows the last 3 years has been a bad economy, but I'd like to point a couple things that the city has accomplished during those 3 years. Just to highlight a few, we've done the viaduct replacement, which was a $9 million project. We've also responded to the 2010 flood. We've conducted a city administrator search. We've done a $26 million wastewater treatment plant upgrade. We've brought the SAGE project to reality, creating 160 new jobs, which is the largest construction project in the state of Minnesota during that time. We also brought rare aircraft back to Faribault, creating 16 jobs here in Faribault. We've also been involved with the revival of the Faribault woolen mills, which is now standing at about 86 new jobs that came back to the town, and that's Minnesota's oldest manufacturer in the state. So that's something that's we're proud of doing. Also, we've done some major airport improvements over this time. We've updated the city charter, which is the first time that was updated since 1978. We've vastly improved the relationship working with Rice County. We also have installed a new water meter system, although that system does have some issues which we're working on right now. That was a major project in the city of Faribault. We brought B&B manufacturing to town, creating another 20 jobs. We went through the redistricting process, which was acceptable to Rice County, and moved forward with that here just in 2012. We also continue with attracting several more new businesses, and the momentum has started after SAGE and a few others. Again, all these things happened during probably the worst economy in decades. Faribault has been impacted by the reductions in LGA during the past 3 years and have kept taxes as low as possible by reduced spending and downsizing our city government. The city continues to provide core services, that being police, fire, and public works being streets, water and sewer. But citizens also have become expecting quality of life issues and amenities as well, that being parks, library, and pools. The City Council has done its best to find the right balance between essential services and those amenities that people are looking for in quality of life issues. I'd also like to touch on the transition issues that we've done with our administrator position. As you well know, the last administrators left, and it was not a right fit for the city, and wasn't a right fit for him. Some of those things came because of personality conflicts between the city administrator and the deputy city administrator. Those issues have now been resolved, and we're working on rebuilding the management team in Faribault. It was unfortunate we did lose some valuable employees, one being Lori Smith and Greg Kruschke here in town. But we do have remaining strong staff, and with a transition issue like this with a new administrator after that time, these are not uncommon issues to these policies that come when we turn from one administrator to the other. Some upcoming and important issues that face the city of Faribault, and that's finding a new administrator to lead this new team we've put together. We also need to continue to help create jobs and increase our tax base. Also, we need to address the diversity issues that face our community in the past few years. Faribault's greatest asset is its citizens. We need to help our citizens engage themselves in the community, and we have a great community, so we should be proud of that. Finally, I'd like to address the recent criticism on my mayor time in the last 3 years. There have been no backroom politics. I take offense to that. That has not ever happened, nor ever will. I take offense to that as myself, and I think the city council takes offense to that as well. I myself has always abstained from any possible conflicts of interest, and I've always put the city first when I make my decisions. Once again, I'd like to thank the citizens of Faribault for allowing me to be your mayor, and I'd like to thank the chamber for putting on this interview. Thank you very much.